sprinting, running very fast for a short distance. Surveillance footage captured the man sprinting toward the security gate while carrying weapons. Vice, next in rank to a president or official. Secret Service agents quickly escorted the vice president to a secure location during the chaos. Allegedly, claimed to be true but not yet proven. The suspect allegedly used an AI chatbot to find ways to cover up the crime. Bracing, preparing for something difficult or unpleasant. Millions of residents are bracing for a series of severe storms tonight. Talks, formal discussions or negotiations. Peace talks between the two nations have stalled as tensions continue to rise. Strait, a narrow passage of water. The closure of the critical strait has disrupted international shipping routes. Diplomats, officials representing a country. Top diplomats are meeting to discuss a new proposal to reopen the trade routes. Diverted, changed from one path to another. The flight was diverted to a nearby airport because of an unruly passenger. Restrained, held back, or kept under control. Other passengers helped the crew until the violent individual was safely restrained. Correspondents, journalists who report for news media. The annual White House Correspondents' Dinner was interrupted by gunshots. Shaken, visibly upset or shocked. Witnesses were clearly shaken after seeing the suspect rush the stage. Ducking, lowering the head or body quickly. Everyone was ducking for cover as security agents swarmed the ballroom. Custody, being kept by the police or in prison. The 31-year-old suspect was taken into custody after the shooting incident. 31. Assassin, a person who murders an important figure. In his messages, he referred to himself as a friendly federal assassin. Intent, a clear purpose or aim. The defendant's manifesto made it clear that his intent was to harm high-ranking officials. Underway, currently happening or in progress. The investigation into the security breach is currently underway. Goodness, used to express relief or surprise. Thank goodness the Secret Service prevented the gunman from entering the main hall. Manifesto, a written statement of beliefs or motives. Police are reviewing a manifesto left by the suspect in his hotel room. Guardsman, a member of the National Guard. A National Guardsman was tragically killed during the recent unrest in the city. Stance, a person's position or attitude on a topic. The Department of Justice is taking a firm stance against political violence. Rhetoric, persuasive or influential language. Leaders called for an end to the heated rhetoric that fuels social division. Convicted, found guilty in a court of law. If convicted of the assassination attempt, he could face a life sentence. Meteorologist, an expert in weather forecasting. The meteorologist warned of a particularly dangerous situation developing in the Midwest. Relentless, constant and harsh, never-ending. The relentless storms have caused widespread destruction across several states. Outbreak, a sudden start of something unpleasant. A deadly outbreak of severe weather has left a trail of damage in its path. Turbulent, unsteady or violent movement. The flight experienced a very turbulent ride as it passed through the storm zone. Grain, seed from cereal crops. Strong winds were powerful enough to rip apart local grain silos. Tornadic, relating to or caused by a tornado. Tornadic winds reaching 100 miles per hour destroyed multiple homes. 100. Arch, a curved structure. The gateway arch remained under a tornado watch until late in the evening. Primed, ready for action or a specific state. Experts say the atmosphere is primed for the development of more tornadoes. Discrete, individually separate and distinct. Forecasters are watching discrete storm cells that could turn into tornadoes. Mount, to increase or rise, also a proper noun. Concerns about security continue to mount ahead of the king's visit. Pledging, promising or giving a word. Leaders are pledging their support to help the country achieve peace. Regime, a particular government or system. The proposal suggests allowing the regime to profit from shipping tolls in the strait. Non-starter, a plan or idea with no chance of success. The administration insists that any deal without a return to the status quo is a non-starter. Trash, waste material, garbage. The remains were found discarded in black trash bags near the bridge. Standoff, a deadlock or confrontation. The suspect was arrested following a tense standoff with local police. Ties, relations or connections. The royal visit comes during a period of strained ties between the two countries. Stateside, in the United States. The reporter returned stateside to cover the historic royal visit. Looming, appearing large and threatening. Security issues are looming large over the upcoming international trip. Prime, chief or main. The Prime Minister's involvement is a key part of the diplomatic mission. Diner, a small, informal restaurant. Onlookers were shocked to see the partial collapse of a popular local diner. Onlookers, people who watch an event. Onlookers watched in horror as parts of the building tumbled into the street. Horrified, filled with horror or shock. People were horrified by the violence that broke out during the gala dinner. Unruly, disorderly, and disruptive. An unruly passenger caused the flight to detour to a different airport. Detoured, took a different route. The pilots detoured to Boston because of an emergency situation on board. Fairground, an outdoor area for a fair or circus. A cable snap at the fairground caused a scary accident during the ride. Snap, to break suddenly. The cable began to snap, sending the ride slamming into a beam. Pileup, a crash involving several vehicles. A massive 26-car pileup occurred at the speedway during the race. 26. Consecutive, following each other without interruption. The athlete is aiming for her 4th consecutive victory tonight. Transplant, an organ-moving operation. The child was born with a rare disease and needed a life-saving liver transplant.